Hey gorgeous people, so today is day 2 of Dallas, and I must say yesterday was really great. Everything went according to plan, seen some great stuff, was able to hang out with my friend. We went to dinner yesterday, then he showed me around a few places downtown Dallas that I didn't see during the day. So I'm actually going to head back downtown today and check out some other items that I didn't get a chance to view, such as a few different museums, go find me something to eat for lunch. So it should be a great day. Madison has made it into town, which is my little cousin who has the gymnastic competition. I'm actually going to go grab them, and then we're gonna hang out for the day, so it should be a good day. So let's see what we can find to do. So we made it back downtown. Now we're going to the art museum. Once we arrived inside of the art museum, we found out we had to stop at this desk just to register, essentially saying where we're coming from so they can get that data to see who all is visiting the museum. It is still free, so you don't have to worry about anything with that. So this was the first room we entered into on our self-guided tour. And I'm only going to show bits and pieces of the museum just because I feel like it's more valuable to experience this in person than watching it through my videos. Just for me watching my own videos back, you don't get the same experience. Alright gorgeous people, so we have conquered the art museum. I enjoyed it. The girls, not so much. They made it a decent amount of ways, but of course they got tired after a while. After we left the art museum, we grabbed some food off a few of the food trucks that they have out here, which was a lot more than they had yesterday when I was down here, which was nice. I guess probably because of the time of the day. So we came down today closer to 1 o'clock. Or yesterday I was down here probably around 5, 6 o'clock. So I'm assuming the food trucks was out for people with lunch breaks, so that was good to be able to experience that. Now we're just hanging out in Clyde Park. They're enjoying the playground. As you can see some of the playground behind me. I'm kind of sitting on the top just enjoying the sun and relaxing. After we leave the park, we're gonna go get on this trolley that takes us around in the downtown area. And the trolley is free, so that's very nice. And then after that, we're gonna go probably grab me some food from this place called Halal Guys. I've only gotten this out of New York, so I was very excited when I seen that they had one here in Dallas. And instead of theirs being in a food truck, it's an actual restaurant. So we're gonna see if it's the same. If it's not, I'm gonna be so disappointed. And then I'll just have to wait till I go into New York to get it again. Other than that, the day has been going great. We're probably gonna try to go visit one other area today and then see where the night takes us. But until then, make sure y'all stay tuned. We'll keep rolling. I'll keep taking y'all on the journey. After the trolley ride, it was time to head back to the car and head over to Halal Guys so I can get me a gyro platter. And I must say it was pretty much exactly the same as the food trucks in New York, so I would definitely recommend. Final stop was to go pick up my uncle from playing golf, and then we found this amazing barbecue restaurant called Terry Black's. I 1000% recommend this establishment. This food was so good, y'all. So if you're ever in Dallas, make sure y'all visit Terry Black's for sure. And I'm going to show you here how you kind of order, and they make you pay by the pound for the meat. So everything is a la carte, and I'll put some screen grabs here so you can see that. But this is their smokers and where they cook all the meat. I'm telling y'all will not regret going to this restaurant. Quick side note, since it was pretty late when we arrived, they had already ran out of some of the meat, so they listed the items they did have left. So here's a few items they had for purchase throughout the line. They had hats, they had bottles of wine, they had seasonings and barbecue sauce. You have your beer, you have small bottles of wine, so they have plenty of options for you to pick from. These are the sides that you can pick from. Macaroni and cheese, you have green beans, you got beans, potato salad, you have some different dessert options. So they try to have it all. This is where you go to order your meat option that you would like. So we had got some brisket, and I must say it was so good, y'all. Day 3, we're starting off at the Holocaust Museum. The girls did not join me on this adventure because it was not recommended for their age bracket, and they're 8 and 6. So I actually dropped them off that morning at this water park that I'll show you all a little later. I didn't take much footage in here just because if this is somewhere that you want to visit, I would definitely want you to kind of immerse yourself in the experience as I did, which is why I didn't take that much footage. I really wanted to go in, read about the information, listen to the different videos that they had to offer. I did give a few screenshots here where you can see some of the stuff that was inside of the museum. I must say this was a really great experience. They had the information displayed very nicely. A lot of videos that you can watch, and they had different like speakers or phones per se, so you can hear the survivors' testimonies and stuff like that. So I really enjoyed going to this museum, and the older I get, I'm starting to realize I like some museums, not all museums, but some museums are actually quite nice. One of the large things that I thought was pretty cool here was this hologram experience where you can ask questions to survivors, and the experience was nice. It was kind of off just a tad bit. Granted, it was AI material being used, and what they did was they had the survivors sit down to do interviews. I was told for over a week of time, and different audience members, or the interviewers I guess probably, asked them over 1,000 questions, and then today we were able to ask them whatever questions we wanted to ask. They gave us like this guide, as you can see, just to kind of give us an idea as to what type of questions we can ask. So you have to stand up, ask your question, and then the hologram will and then respond to your question. For the most part, I would say he answered the questions really well. If there was ever a moment where he probably didn't hear us correctly, the young lady who was in the room with us that worked for the museum will re-ask the question in the mic, and then he would answer the question. So that was really nice. I have never seen that before. I know it's not the first time I've heard of it, but it's definitely the first time that I've experienced it. So that was nice. I did a brief video just so you can see the test question that the young lady at the museum asked, so you can see what kind of experience it was like.
Hello.
Hello, Aaron. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Okay, so you can see.
And then they had about 4 different kind of like exhibits. Sorry, trying to recall back, but like 4 different kinds of exhibits, from the Holocaust to human rights stuff, and then the genocide. And I feel like I'm forgetting one other one, but I'll make sure I put all my screen grabs and videos up here, as you can see. But this museum was nice. It was $19. And once you went in once for the day, if you wanted to leave and come back, you definitely could. The museum closed at 5 p.m. Yes, closed at 5. I'll drop in the description times, prices, location, and all of that, just in case I'm off anywhere. But that was my first stop. Really enjoyed it. I spent probably 2.5 hours in this museum, which was a lot for me. I feel like sometimes I normally just go through the motions and go through the museums relatively quickly, but today I had some time. I was able to read all of the stuff, and like I said, I didn't take much video because I really wanted to immerse myself in the museum. So that's what I did there. Next stop was the JFK Memorial. So this is where he got shot in the motorcade. This experience was not so immersive because I was obviously outside, as you can see, just trying to take in maybe like where the motorcade was, try to find out where the window was at and everything like that. So not much direction was given, so it was just something to kind of experience. So I did go out, see that, and then my next stop was to find food. And I went to this, I think it's a local shop, and I ordered some ribs and some brisket. And I must say that when I walked into the establishment, I was a little bit iffy about ordering just because of how the setup was. And then the night before, I had went to a restaurant called Terry Black's to get some ribs and stuff like that. But their setup was drastically different. I'll show you that here in a second. But this restaurant in particular, like I said, I was sketched out just a tad bit on ordering just because of the setup. And then when I actually got the food, as you can see, it looks presentable. The green beans were really good, and then the brisket was too dry. I would say they probably overcooked it. The ribs weren't bad, but they had nothing on Terry Black's ribs. So I had actually went there the night before. My aunt and uncle had ate there. I didn't because I was already full because I had ate earlier in the day. So I didn't get anything, and they did. And I did taste their brisket. Amazing. Definitely better than this other place. And then today I had to go back because I really wanted some ribs since I hadn't had any. And this place, ribs, was just not doing it for me. So I drove back to Terry Black's, got some ribs and some brisket and this cornbread. This cornbread is so good, y'all. I don't know what they put in it, but it's amazing. My aunt, I did try their green beans last night. The green beans was good. The brisket, man, look, it was so tender. And these ribs was tender. Like, they fell off the bone, everything. Amazing food. Met this cool guy named Ethan who was running like the smoker, so he gave me a little glimpse.
They're about, what time are we going? 5 hours into it. So at this point, we're just living, we're creating a bark, and then we're gonna protect this. We're gonna foil the lean end in about an hour or so once they all start to lift. And right now we're looking at the internal temp to get to about 180 or so, 170, 180. And then at that point, the fat's gonna start to render out on its own. So that's about 6 hours into it. After another 4 to 5 hours, then it'll be a really nice dark color to it, nice deep dark bark. And then we'll wrap it in the butcher paper. And then we'll wait for the internal temp to get to about 200 or so. We'll kick the temps up to about 300 degrees, 300 to 350. And then at that point, we just want the butcher paper to saturate, let all the fat to render itself out, kind of contain itself within the butcher paper. When it hits 200 degrees, we pull it and rest it, let the temp come back down to about 180, and that's when we serve it.
That sounds like a lot of work.
They're just like steps, just processes. But it's, you know, we do it every day, so we kind of get used to it.
Right.
Yeah, and then,
Interesting.
yeah, that's all we got on right now. We'll probably put on pork ribs around.
That was cool to see. Smelled like smoke. But like a good 20 minutes later, like I can still smell the smoke in my hair. I kid y'all not. But that was my experience today. Just a real chill vibe. Madison then went over to a water park, so I'm gonna go grab them a little bit later. So water park looked pretty amazing. It's an indoor water park because it is kind of cold here in Dallas. It's been high 50s, low 60s the entire time that I've been here. I would definitely visit again. I would probably want to like chill out with some of my family and friends that live here, so they can maybe show me like the outskirts or like what the locals do. And I really wanted to go to Fort Worth. Yeah, I wanted to go up to Fort Worth to go to the rodeo show today, but tickets were sold out, so I was so devastated because I've never been to a rodeo and I really wanted to experience something that was different, because to me Dallas is essentially like home, like big city, bright lights, same experience that I pretty much get anywhere else when I travel. So I wanted to see something different here in Texas. Like I wanted to see the cowboy experience and them on the bulls and stuff like that. Like I really wanted to see that in Texas, but I didn't get a chance to do that. Maybe I'll do a day trip or something like that and come out here when they're having rodeos and just actually pre-plan for that experience so I can get my tickets in advance, and we'll try to do that again. Other than that, the trip has been great. Tomorrow is the gymnastics competition. That starts at 8 in the morning. So we'll do that. I'll show you a glimpse, let you all know how she finished, and then it will be back to the airport and home I go. Hey gorgeous people, so it's been a day, y'all. So let's start from the top. Woke up this morning probably around like 6 o'clock, got dressed, everything like that. Madison's competition was today. Competition started at 8 a.m. My flight was at like 9:50. It got delayed, but I must admit I knew going into the day that I was already going to miss my flight, because I wasn't going to come all the way to Texas to see Madison's competition and then not be able to see it. That was just ridiculous, right? So go to competition. Competition goes great. Everything is fine. She actually won first place, y'all. So I'm so excited, so proud of her. She took first place in all around and like 3 other competitions or 3 other events within the gymnastics. So vaults, bars, floor, and I'm missing one. Vaults, bar, floor, and beam. So she took first place in 3 of the 4, and then first place overall. So I'm so excited for her, so proud. She was ecstatic, but she's so humble and she's so shy about it, so she doesn't really like the spotlight. But anywho, off her. So after competition, I had to go drop off the rental car. At first I thought I was gonna have to pay for an extra day. Kind of just explain to them like, hey, this is what happened. This is why I'm a few hours late of dropping the rental car off. So National came through. I appreciate that, National, because it's just like one thing after another, and then that becomes additional cost. And granted, I really did not know that the competition was going to be on Sunday when I originally booked my ticket. I really thought it was on Saturday. So when everything changed, I was like, crap, like this is going to be a day. So get the car and everything checked in. Now I'm headed into the airport, and I go to the Delta desk to tell them like, hey, I know I missed my flight. This is the first time I missed my flight. Like, y'all, I've never missed a flight ever a day in my life. Only way I've ever missed something was because of the airline. So if they delayed or essentially it canceled, or it was so delayed that by the time I got to the next location, my connection flight had already left. So besides something like that, I've never missed a flight a day in my life. So I get there, explain to them once again like what happened. They were very understanding, so he helped me out and put me on another flight. And most of the time I always try to take like the first flight out, just because it's less issues for delays, for the crew timing out. Just anything can happen in the evening. Hence, take me to right now. So I boarded the flight from Dallas to Atlanta. That one went on time without a problem. Actually, before I even left Dallas, I got the alert saying that my Atlanta to Cleveland flight was delayed by an hour. So I was supposed to take off at like 11, and then before I left, it told me it was taking off at like 12. So once I finally land, it's saying now it's taking off at like 12:32, 12:52, one of those two. So now I'm sitting here in Atlanta. It's like 9 p.m. who knows if the flight is going to take off, because I checked to see where my plane was and it was still showing in St. Louis, and it hasn't actually taken off the last time I checked. So I'm at the mercy of Delta once again. They came through definitely in the clutch earlier today. Hopefully they come through again. Right now my flight, if it does leave at the scheduled time, I should get into Cleveland about 2 a.m. and I do have to go to work tomorrow, so that's gonna be rough. If I don't take off, I'm probably just gonna be clearly working from Atlanta, because I did bring my work laptops just in case something like this happened, because like I told y'all, I knew that I was gonna end up missing the flight once I found out that her competition was gonna be on Sunday. So I definitely stayed prepared, packed extra clothes and everything in my carry-on bag just in case something like this happens. So if this is not a lesson, make sure you pack extra clothes, prepare just in case, because you just never know. And who wants to be in the same clothes day after day? So I will check in with y'all later. Hopefully I make it home tonight or early in the morning and not have to sleep here in Atlanta. If I do, it is what it is, because I'm at this point I'm just rolling with the punches because I missed my flight, so I gotta take that on the chin. But I'll check in with y'all soon. The flight did end up taking off, so I made it home around 2 a.m. that morning, and I was just so happy to get home. As always, gorgeous people, go out there, create memories that will last a lifetime.